Today, the boys are getting a new paddock, but first, we're going blueberry picking. Howdy fellas, how you doing today? So you notice that their hay's spread out all over the ground now, and there's no feeding trough, because just as you see this bucket up against the fence, they kept pushing their metal feeding trough up against the fence. I came out here yesterday once again. They're just gonna get their hay thrown on the ground now because I can't have them keep pushing that metal trough against the electric fence. With our new hay tarped here, now we can focus on setting up the new paddock for the sheep. We're gonna dig out the tansy that's in there. There's not a whole lot, maybe about 6 or 7 stems in there that I need to get out, and weed eat around the perimeter for the fence. Thank you guys for going right in your corral unprompted. Perfect timing. Much obliged. So with them in the corral now, we can take down this portable electric fence and set it up on this paddock over here. Battery died on it?
The battery died.
Well, that's gonna delay progress.
Yeah, it does. It means we'll probably have to do this in 2 hours when the battery charges again.
Alright.
So it happens when you don't get a gas powered, but it's a lot easier to lift.
I got all the tansy dug out. At least all the tansy I could find. It was a little bit more than I originally anticipated. With that taken care of now, all we need to do is wait for the string trimmer battery to charge so we can clear a path for the fence through the taller grass so it doesn't ground out. I really like this paddock that I'm about to move them into. There's a lot of purple vetch in it, which is this right here, and a lot of plantain, which is this here, and there's even some flowering peas right here. Both the vetch and the peas are nitrogen fixers, which means that they actually put nitrogen back into the soil. It's not by accident that they're growing here. There is a little bit of a story behind that. I got a question from a viewer, Peoria Dude, regarding what my long-term strategy is for the noxious weed management. All the bracken fern, the tansy and such. So stay tuned, keep an eye out for that video coming soon, and in that there'll also be an explanation regarding the peas and the purple vetch. So while we're waiting for that battery to charge, I figured I'd show you what I got going on in the kitchen here. This is pastured pork shoulder steaks from a local producer, supplemented with a non-GMO grain. I marinated the steaks for 24 hours in basically an organic red wine and organic apple cider vinegar. I just used this inexpensive certified organic natural red table wine here for the marinade. I just poured enough wine in there to get about halfway up the meat, and then I took the apple cider vinegar and poured a little bit over each steak to where it was pretty much, it was about 3/4 of the way up the steak. Then I preheated my enamel cast iron braiser, dropped in a little bit of bacon grease in there, and threw my fillets on there. Now, because these are coming out of the marinade, they're wet and they're going to take longer to brown. Right now I'm going to be getting the Maillard effect on them, or attempting to, and get them browning here. So I got some color on the pork steaks, and now I'm going to deglaze the pan with just a little bit of this red wine. A nice fond going here, which is going to go great with these onions I'm about to put in. So that's a half an onion right there. I reserved my other half for my side dish, which is going to be a sauteed cabbage. So I have some color on my onions now, so I'm going to add the pork steaks back in. Now you can add this back. Alright, so we got that lidded. I'm going to let this braise on the stove top for about 2 hours. So I have a heated enamel cast iron Dutch oven right here. It's got some bacon grease dropped in there. If you don't have any or don't want to use bacon grease, of course you can use some butter in there. First, the onions are going in. We'll get a little color on them, and then the cabbage. Lightly salted to help get some of the moisture out of the onions there. Cabbage is in, and we're going to just add some salt in there. We're going to crack some peppercorns in there. And I'm going to throw in a pinch of one of my favorite spice mixes, the Harvest Eating Northern Italian. This is so versatile. It goes in my breakfasts, it goes in lunches, it goes in dinners. It's awesome. All organic, made by Chef Keith Snow from harvesteating.com. You can get it there, or you can get it on Amazon Prime. I'll leave an affiliate link in the video description below. So you can see this is cooked down a good bit. And the last thing I'm going to do is add these mustard seeds to it, about a tablespoon. Just mix those in a bit. So I'm going to keep the lid on it and wait for the pork shoulders to finish. Plate this up now. This is not fancy, this is not a beautiful dish, but what it lacks in beauty, it makes up for in amazing flavor.
You're gonna eat that whole thing?
So there you go. We have braised pork shoulder steak over sauteed cabbage and a Japanese sweet potato on the side. How is it?
Good and hot.
Good and hot? Man, it is thick grass back there. Let me show you. And man, this stuff was thick. My feet were just like sinking in this bed of grass. This is after I'd used the string trimmer. The string trimmer wasn't really effective cutting it any closer than this. Those blueberries we picked earlier today are inside calling my name for dessert. So I'm gonna go in and take care of that, and we're gonna work on getting their paddock up tomorrow.